Guys, so we're back here with Chris. He has a litter on the ground. Trust me. These dogs, look, you know I don't like bulldogs, French bulldogs, no bulldogs, no bull, nothing. There's something about this American bulldog guy. It got me. That being said, I would take one of these home. I got to be honest with you. I would. This thing almost look like I got a scissor bite. Chris, what are some things people should be mindful of when managing care from the first 1 to 14 days? Because I think that's where I get the most messages.
Heat. That's the most important thing for food and for them. You know what I'm saying? If they have to be at a regular temperature, you have to regulate their temperature, and you have to regulate the intake of their food temperature-wise, because they can't warm it up.
And that's if you're bottle feeding or just in general?
When you bottle feed, I mean, obviously the mom's, it's already warm coming out of her body because her core temperature is 100 to 103 degrees, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she has warm milk coming out of her, and the temperature of the milk coming out of her is anywhere from 95 to 100 degrees. And that's the same thing with puppies. They need to be regulated because they can't regulate their own body heat for the first. Some people say 2 weeks, some people say 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know the real answer. You know what I mean? I've never sat there and every day took the temperature.
That might be something we do next time and see what their temperatures look like over 3 litters for 10 to 14 days. So stay tuned. That'd be a good one. And medications. Let's say something goes wrong. Aspiration pneumonia. What's another thing that could go wrong with the bulldog?
I mean,
well, any dog.
Yeah, you can get puppy strangles.
Strangles. What's that?
It's basically a swollen lymph node. It's an auto-inflammatory response to the body. You know, it's an easy fix. Just a little bit of liquid prednisone, because it's just swelling. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Coccidia. You get coccidia quite a bit in young puppies from moms who don't want to eat. Moms that are dirty. You know, their breast teats that are dirty when they go outside. Because a lot of times, if you ever notice when you have a puppy, normally like the first day or two, you'll still see your mom out in the yard digging. I mean, think about it. And then they just kick that dirt back on their own, you know, teats. Yeah. So then when they come in, they ain't like they can go, you know what I mean? You got to clean them off, because then the mom comes in and boom, the puppy suck on it. And coccidia comes from wild birds. It can come from wild birds. It's really rampant in chickens, you know what I mean? So if you can, you know, clean her. Some people wipe, when the moms come in, they wipe them down with like a wipey.
Yeah.
I've seen that. And you can just make sure she's clean. You can keep an eye on her, keep her temperature, check her temperature, make sure she doesn't have a fever. Because if she has a fever, she has, like, you know, it's called milk fever. She'll get sick, and then they get sick. So that's one thing you have to take into consideration. There's a few things, but your main things are going to be if she's not a good mom. When I say she's not a good mom, she doesn't clean them properly, or she doesn't try to feed them enough, then they start nursing on each other.
This one,
you know, the boys, you know, they're nursing on the boys is, you know what. So you get coccidia problems, and you can smell it immediately if you know what you're smelling. It smells like wet pennies.
Wet pennies?
Yeah, it smells like wet pennies.
Got to soak a bag of pennies and just walk around and people, hey, what's it smell like?
But
wet pennies?
It smells like wet pennies, man. And they normally have, you know, their stools normally a little on the whiter side, and their skin, like when you feel the puppy, it's greasy feeling.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, some of the indicators that something's wrong, you know, and they're not gaining weight.
Yeah.
You're staying either even or you're going down. So a lot of people, they weigh them every day.
Yeah.
And the book says that you're supposed to gain, the day they're born, the next day they're going to lose that water weight. So from there on, they should gain weight. Even if it's small, you know, you got to gain every day. I mean, just like a baby, you have to gain every day. And so if you can a lot of people get a little nervous when they're sucking and they get the bubbles coming out of their nose. I don't even get nervous. I mean, think about it. If you're drinking, right? And you know, you'll stop.
To reset and kind of like clear this so you can breathe.
They just do this.
Yeah.
They just spit it out. You know what I mean? So they can take care of themselves more than we think they can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And people, about accidents do happen, so you still want to be precautious. And that goes into identifying what you're dealing with. Good mother, good cleaning, puppies being cognitive or aware. You're breeding 2 dumb dogs, you're going to get some more dumb dogs. Neither here nor there. Is there anything else people should be mindful of? Because again, somebody asked me about, hey, I have a 10-day-old pup. What was it? Maybe 14 days, and there was some blood in the stool.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it probably is, but it definitely would. I would seek out professional help. You know what I mean? I would imagine that this stool was probably a little jellyish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Giardia. So, I mean, that's definitely something.
That early? 14 days?
Well, so they get it from their mom.
Yeah.
So more than likely the mom is infested. So there's certain things that can be passed.
So Giardia, is that one of those things you should implement before she has pups? Make sure she's got...
So there's a, they have a worming regimen.
Yeah.
That some people do, and it's actually a pretty good one. They use Panicure or Safeguard. It's the same common medication. They do it 2 weeks before the puppies are born. So while you're doing that, you're flushing the mom. So the minute the puppies come into the earth, to the world, she's already cleaned out. They're not getting any roundworms. They're not getting any hookworms. They're not getting any coccidia or Giardia because
just using Panicure.
Yeah.
Which the textbook says anywhere.
Yeah, the textbook says that you can long enough treatment with that, it does cure it all. Textbook answer. I don't know if it really works, but textbook answer says it does.
And it also means it doesn't break the embryonic wall.
No.
So that's why it's a safe medication to give the mom before the pups come as well. And that's a whole other thing, because you can give certain medications and cause problems with the pups. And those real harsh ones, you come out in pups the
second trimester.
Second trimester.
Your first trimester, you're pretty safe. And that's something they have to learn on their own. I'm not going to tell them, but you know, there's a key indicator that first trimester, first month, second month, there's a big difference in medications that they can consume. Huge difference. So make sure you know them ones. Just give her Baytril.
You don't want to do that. Do not want to do that.
Not in the second trimester. I don't recommend it. Doxycycline's another one you can't do in the second trimester. So there's certain medications that are safe, like I said, the first month, but the second month, absolutely not.
Food for thought, people. Now again, when we're just talking about managing a litter, I've got a lot of questions. I can't go through all of them or even find some of the ones where I was asked, but there's some people who deal with all kinds of stuff. I got a pup being carried too much by the mother. She's protecting. I got a pup that's pooping blood. I got a pup that's 11 days old throwing up.
It could be overeating, or it has a digestive issue, or maybe there's a disconnect. That's around, you know, your abnormal puppies that are kind of messed up. They can last up to about 10 days.
And they'll still kill over.
Yeah.
If they have a digestive problem.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily a digestive problem, but it could be a heart problem. It could be a lot of different things. And it doesn't have to show up the day they're born. It doesn't have to show up 2 days. I mean, we'll just say herpes, canine herpes. I've seen it show up where the puppies were 4 weeks old and then they started keeling over. You know, it doesn't happen immediately, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you have a bad heart, I mean, the dog can last up to 6 weeks old, and when it gets to running really fast, boop, keel over. You know what I mean? So you don't never know. That's why, but I do recommend to people sometimes, if you don't know what really happened, I highly recommend you get a necropsy. So you know. If it's something freaky, like it choked on something and passed away, you understand that. You're not slow. But if you don't have any rhyme or reason why this perfectly healthy looking puppy died, I'd highly recommend a necropsy. And
that's important for people who are breeding.
Yeah.
There you go, people. Now, autopsy, human. Necropsy, dog. Food for thought. People will look. I'm gonna keep that. That right there is pretty clear. I mean, he walked you through quite a few things to be mindful of. I had a lot of questions because y'all asking me a lot of stuff. We try to do our best. I can call Chris anytime, but for the most part, we do a lot of care. Even when you said wiping the nipples, we have a wipe regimen. So anybody who takes Zara out, they come in, everybody wipes the dogs down, feet, paws.
Well, it does two things. It does one, it keeps her clean, and it keeps you understanding if she has mastitis. And if you touch them, like you can see if she has milk fever because it's warm to touch. The boob is like extremely warm, you know what I mean? So that it does more. It's more of a self-check for the dog, for them, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this one's a little engulfed.
So even with this thing that you're saying, let me ask you this, and we'll close this out with this. I tell you all the time, a lot of y'all don't know your dogs. And that's because they don't really spend time with them, let alone be hands-on with them. Yeah. And you'll see me, I'll grab them jokers, but I'm always harassing them and stuff from fashion. You go, oh, what happened here? And there's a lot of stuff you don't see under that coat. So I won't say a regular bath, but a bath every 2 weeks if you can. And then if you have dermatitis or skin issues, you might want to get a dog a bath every week, especially if you're not solving the food problems or what's really going on. But just being hands-on with your dog will help you prevent, well, we talked about it, managing symptoms. And what is this? What is a symptom? Over, you know, an inflamed breast is a symptom of something that's coming.
Yeah, I tell people, you know, if you ever watch the UFC fight, every time they walk in, they do that. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to touch the guy. They're trying to make sure that he doesn't have any cuts, he doesn't have any bruises, he doesn't have any broken bones when he squeaks. You know what I mean? Checking his cauliflower ear, make sure it ain't busted. You know what I mean? Now he's gonna go in and get busted, but what he's doing is a thorough check that the person's okay. It took him, if you ever watch a UFC fight, it took him less than 2 seconds. Wham, wham, wham. You're good to go, sir. Let me see your mouthpiece. You know what I mean? That's what they do, or they have it in their hand. Same thing with a dog. When you walk in there with your dog, if you got the dogs in kennels, check the ears, check the mouth, make sure there's none of them. There's like that Japanese beetle that goes in the dog's mouth.
Oh yeah.
Just lift their gums up. But it also does a lot more things. It helps desensitize dogs. You know, when you're going to a show dog, hey, let me see your dog's bite. And bruh, as a judge, you've seen it yesterday.
Yeah. That dog losing his crap, man.
You know what I mean? They're like, man, what the hell are you doing?
And this is off topic, but how long should a judge spend on a dog that will not cooperate and let him see the dog? 'Cause I've seen this happen before the show. This judge was like, it had to be a minute 30, where he was trying to get this dog, or this woman was like, oh, just 1 second, and he just was standing there.
Well, for me, it's a different answer. If it's your first time, and I can tell because I could see the tension in the leash shaking, I try to work with you. You know what I mean? I genuinely try to work with you because this is obviously your first time, so I'm trying to make the experience pleasant for you. And not just dismiss you like, yo, my man, either show me the bite or get out. No, it's just, I mean, the thing is, you know, you don't know everybody's lifestyle. And you can't assume that, just can't assume. That's basically, you can't assume, you know what I mean? So, yeah, for me, that's what I do. That's why everybody can check my dog's bites, because I do that regimen daily. Like, hey, you got any ear infections? Nope. You got any, things in your mouth that shouldn't be there, anything stuck in your gums, anything like that? And then I just run down their back. And then you can feel them flaky pieces of skin sometimes, or you can feel a tick, or you can feel anything, you know what I mean? So
like a Dr. Pimple Popper. Let me see if we got any pimples on you. Guys, that's it for now. Stay tuned. Take care of your dogs. What's good, man?